Hello students, welcome back to the biology class. So in the last class we covered the concept of endometrium, which is the essential and the third world when considered from the outside to inside in a flower, and it is made up of stamens. So stamens collectively together is termed as endometrium. A plant may have two stamens, a plant may have a single stamen. So it is even possible to have numerous infinite number of stamens. Now stamens are also called as microsporophyll because they are the modified leaf, or you can say modified floral leaves, which are supposed to carry microspores, or pollen grains are also called as microspores. We learned that a stamen is made up of a filament and an anther. So this is the fertile upper portion called as the anther, and this is the sterile lower portion or the stalk, which is called as the filament. We learned that generally anther is two-lobed, and each lobe carries two anther sacs or pollen sacs, and pollen sacs are also termed in biology as microsporangium. We learned in the last class that the sterile stamens are called as staminode, and then there are various adhesions of stamen possible to various floral parts. For example, the stamens may attach with their lowermost portion with thalamus, or may attach with petal, may attach with tepal, sepal, or otherwise carpel. We learned the various examples of the families and the terms used for example epipetalous, epiphyllous, episepalous, and gynandrous. We learned that stamens can be present or situated opposite to the petals or alternating with the petals. Accordingly, they are called as antipetalous or alternipetalous. And we learned that whenever we say it is antipetalous, then the other term possible is alternisepalous. And if it is alternipetalous, the stamens can also be called as antisepalous. Similarly, the words are alternifilous and antiphyllous. We learned that if there is a single whorl of stamen, it is called as haplostaminous type of flower or endometrium, but it is possible to have two whorls, and two whorls can be either diplostaminous or obdiplostaminous. We learned the various characteristics in the last class. Stamens can be similar in sizes or can be different. We learned two examples, tetradynamous and didynamous, in the last classes. Now the adhesion of the stamens, just like adhesion of the stamen, we even have cohesion of the stamen. If the stamens are free, they are called as polyandrous. If the stamens are fused, then various types of fusions are possible. If the filaments are fused, the word used is adelphous. If the anthers are fused, it is called synanthrous. And if the whole stamen is fused, that means from the filament up to anther, the whole structure is fused, then they are called as synandrous type. We learned that stamens can be inserted or exerted type, and then various fixations are also possible: basifixed, adnate, dorsifixed, and the one which is found in the Poaceae family, which helps in wind pollination, is the versatile type. We learned that the dehiscence, and I could not cover the diagrams of this, so I will finish that in minutes now. Dehiscence of the anther can be of various types. So those dehiscence possible are longitudinal, lengthwise, if it is towards the inside, introrse; if it is towards the outside, extrorse; or if it is towards the lateral side, laterose. And then transverse, valvular, porous, and irregular types are also possible. Now let's quickly understand these things from the diagrams. So when the stamens are attached to the petals, they are called as epipetalous. You can easily see here one more thing, that the stamens are not coming out, they are smaller than the petals, so they are also called as inserted. In this case, you can see the sepals are these are the petals, and you can easily see stamens are outside. So whenever the sex organs are outside, they are called as exerted. The next category diagram is, you can easily see there is a pistil in the middle, and then two small stamens and two longer stamens. So this is the heterostaminous type of condition, and it is called as didynamous because there are two outer one are longer and two smaller one are shorter. Remember now this is a condition of two whorls, because you can see here one circle carrying two stamen and second circle carrying two smaller stamen. So this is an example of diplostaminous. In this category you can see two stamens are smaller and they are towards the inside, and four are towards the center and they are longer in size. So this is tetradynamous condition. Now this is how a stamen basically look like. This is the filament, and then there is a tissue called connective which connects, because the xylem and phloem passes through the filament and takes the nutrition and water which is much required for cellular division to form spores, or you can say male gametes. That's why anthers have a tissue which connects them with the filament, and the tissue is called as connective tissue. This is monadelphous because you can see a major part of filament is fused and then anthers are free, monadelphous. Now in the case of Fabaceae family, you will find 9 stamens fused to become one bundle and one stamen is free. So 9 plus 1 arrangement. This is polyadelphous. Polyadelphous is found in Rutaceae family, where number of bundles are there but anthers will remain free, so only filaments are fused. Now in this case you can see anthers are fused, found in sunflower family. In this case you can see the synandrous, the whole thing is fused, found in Cucurbitaceae family, or even in the case of Carilla, Momordica, bittergourd, you can see this condition is there. Now the next one is basifixed. You can see at the base it is attached, adnate throughout the length, dorsifixed dorsal surface, attachment, one point of attachment. Same thing, but two lobes are free to move. Now these are the various dehiscence possible. It may dehisce in longitudinal manner, towards the inside, towards the opposite side, which I cannot show because it is towards the back side of the sheet, laterose towards the corner side. Transverse method, valve, that means something like a lid will open to expose the pollen grains out, porous holes may develop, and then irregular any manner of dehiscence.